What's up guys, how's it going? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's a nice morning and I'm just about done with my headphone stand that does not work. So today, I'm going to be 3D printing a brand new one. Let's go. Alright guys, so I guess this is becoming sort of a vlog because before we get into the headphone stand thing, I want to work on something first. So if you are just here for the 3D printing, skip ahead. But I thought y'all might enjoy me trying to figure out how to work on this. Here's my idea. This is my tripod right here. You see, this little pipe goes down in there, right? But you can pull it out. It's easy. So this is also something that I use whenever I'm vlogging. Right now I'm not using it, but it's because I'm holding the camera. But I was just thinking, whenever I film my visual effects tutorials and stuff, I normally take the camera and put it right here. But then it's off to my left, and it kind of looks weird whenever you see me in the corner. So I was thinking, we have this cap right here on my monitor stand. What if we were to fork that off, and then this could slide down in there? Bro, and it's like a webcam. How sick is that? I'm gonna get something sharp. It worked. Alright, here is the moment of truth. Here we go. Oh my gosh, look at that, that's insane, that's perfect. This is perfect. Look, I use a computer. Much better view. Right, okay, let's get 3D printing. Nice, okay, it's way too dark. There we go. Still dark, but I think I like the moody lighting for today. Alright guys, so I'm here in Blender. That's what I'm going to be using to modeling my headphones holder, my bad. So for my concept, I'm thinking we have sort of like a 5 shape. So we're going to have it flat on the top, then it goes down. So the top part will be glued on the desk. It'll come down and go out, headphones sit there, and then there might be like a little lip. That way the headphones don't fall off constantly. We don't really have to worry about size on Blender because later in our 3D printing software we can actually see how large it is in certain directions. But we do need to get a measurement of the headphones so we at least know. So I have these here. These are calipers. I have them set to 0. I'm just going to grab the headphones and measure the top of them. So the headphones themselves are 37.1 millimeters. So I'm thinking the lip needs to be, we could do 40. So the lip needs to be 40 millimeters. So for wideness, I'm also thinking about 40. Seems right. So now that we know those numbers, that's how we could set it later in the 3D printing application. And those are the numbers that we'll put in. So let's start modeling. I'm going to start off with a plane. You can just press Shift A and hit plane. And then I'll move it up. This isn't so much of a Blender tutorial, it's just kind of a work through for my 3D printing process. If you want to see a Blender tutorial, go look one up. There's tons of them out there. Okay, so this is already a square. So this is theoretically 40 millimeters by 40 millimeters, right? Take this, bring it down. 2. There we go. And so now we know that our wideness is going to be 40, and then that will scale everything else relatively. So it'll fit the headphones. Alright, and now I'm going to add a lip, which is kind of my mistake that I didn't add one in the last one, which was also 3D printed, by the way. Just like that. And then just to keep things nice and clean looking, I'm going to go ahead and make these edges curved right here. Alright, now we have that. That took like 2 minutes, right? Export it as an STL file, because that is what the 3D printing software reads. So STL, I'm just going to save it to my downloads, and I can name it, what is this again? Oh yeah, headphone. So headphone hanger STL. export STL. Okay, now we can close Blender and we can open up our software. It's called Ultimaker Cura. Alright, here we are. So to import our STL file that we just exported, we can find it in our downloads folder whenever we click on this folder icon and just hit open. Okay, you can see it's obviously way too small. And when you go to the scale, you can see it's at 4. We need it to be at 40, and that's the wideness. So you can see here the red is referring to the wideness. So we go to the red, change it to 40. And then when you're done, you can change settings over here for layer height and stuff. I'm going to keep it at 2 millimeters. It's going to be a long print, but that's fine because it'll be nice and sturdy, and it'll last me a good year or two. I just hit slice. Okay, now it gives us the option to save it. I'm going to go ahead and save it to this SD card here that I have named drone, and that's because I normally use my drone with that SD card. Okay, so now it gives us the option to save it as our name, and that's going to actually show up on my 3D printer. It will on yours too, depending if yours has a screen or not. You most likely do. So just go ahead and name it something that you're not going to get confused with all the other prints that you have on there. So because this is the only one on the card, it doesn't really matter, so I'll just name it Headphone Hanger. Hanger. Saved. Okay, let's go to the 3D printer. Alright, we're here. We have an Ender 3. You can see we have the nice window light coming in. So let's get started. The first thing that we need to do before we start to print is level the bed. And we do that way whenever the filament is applied, it's not all uneven and coming off and everything. So there's actually a pretty neat way of doing this. You're going to find an index card, not too thin, not too thick, pretty much the thickness of a paper. It's pretty flimsy. And then you're going to turn on the printer. Sorry about the sound. Printer's pretty loud actually. I'm just going to auto home it.
A few moments later.
Okay, then we can disable the steppers. What that means is that I can move around things freely without the motors being enabled. Okay, so this is how you level a bed. You have it auto-homed. You're going to slide the paper underneath and turn this wheel on the bottom, and that'll raise and lower the bed. And you want to make it to where you can feel the paper whenever you move it around, but it's not stuck. It's not getting stuck on there. So you want to find the sweet spot, right? Okay, so I'm not done with that. Okay, so now we can pop in our SD card. Then if we go to print from TF, we can hit Headphone Hanger. And now you can see it says the bed is heating and it's getting prepared to print. Alright guys, so I actually did make a very stupid mistake by printing it upwards. I should have printed it on its side like that because the filament just started going off the back, which of course isn't how physics works, but thankfully the top of it is flat. So if we get rid of some of this stuff back here, it's still completely usable. So you can put it all over there. Just press it on. There we go. Moment of truth. Ta-da! Man, how cool is that? That's great. It fits on there perfectly because we measure it, the calipers and all that. And just like that, we've created something out of plastic from scratch with a 3D printer. So, yeah. Isn't it great that this day and age we can do that? I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I'll see you soon. Peace. What have I done? And